God blimey, Governor, are you having a laugh?
I know what to do.
That's you, that's what you sound like. Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 worst fake British accents in movies.
That if you truly believe in your hearts that you are free, then I say we can win.
Before we begin, if you enjoy this video, please subscribe for more great content. For this list, we're dissecting those British accents by American and Canadian actors that were as hilariously noticeable as they were offensively bad. We're basing our picks on stereotypical dialects, slips out of accent, and lacks of effort to sound genuine. Do you know what I mean? Number 10, James Franco, Your Highness.
Belladonna, wake up. Wake up.
Just because your film is based in fantasy doesn't mean your accent should be. In this magical comedy, Fabius and Thaddeus are on a quest to save Fabius's wife from an evil wizard with a lot more adult humour than you'd expect from the genre. But James Franco's accent is about as unexpected as it gets. While Danny McBride gives an off and on performance with his voice,
Sounds tedious and boring.
it's Franco's limey and barely present accent that really steals the show, and not in a good way.
You're still in Lazar's lair, but fear not, I'm here to rescue you.
Even during impassioned speeches, Franco slips between caricature and his natural speaking voice, resulting in an accent that's only suitable for comedy.
When I first heard her voice, a tear came to my eye, and that tear turned to ice, and I kept that frozen tear, far from my heart that burns with passion.
Number 9, Lindsay Lohan, The Parent Trap.
Sooner or later, they'll have to unswitch us.
It's hard to get too upset by mess-ups from child actors, but there are definitely a few exceptions. Playing her own twin in this childhood comedy, a young Lindsay Lohan actually does a surprisingly good job at separating her role even when acting opposite herself, but even the best acting needs to sound real.
I don't have a father, actually. I mean, I had one once, I suppose.
Giving her best posh accent a go, Lohan sounds like a Dickensian stereotype in both her cartoonish tone and even cornier dialogue about having class.
Let me see. I know how to fence and you don't? Or I have class and you don't?
Despite warbling some O's, she manages to poke fun at herself as well, imitating her British twin in the same broken voice.
Yes, you want to know the difference between us? I have class and you don't.
Number 8, Natalie Portman, V for Vendetta.
This isn't a game, Your Grace. Someone's coming and I think he means to kill you.
Even an accent suited for the stage doesn't always translate to film. Bringing Alan Moore's political graphic novel to life, Natalie Portman delivers a heartbreaking performance in her role as the unintentional hero Evie, who's dealing with the consequences of fighting oppressive power.
You did this to me. You cut my hair.
Although the pain and joy she's able to evoke are palpable enough to explain Portman's stardom, her prim accent is so put on that it wouldn't even take a Brit to notice it.
Yes, thank you. What is this place?
Feeling all too classical Shakespearean, Portman's accent pulls viewers right out of the film's intense moments and feels confusing otherwise her mostly British castmates.
I won't tell anyone, I swear.
Number 7, Dick Van Dyke, Mary Poppins.
Oh, what, ladies and gents?
A convincing accent can always pull audiences in, while a bad imitation can have them laughing. One of the few Americans in this children's classic, Dick Van Dyke's star power was a huge draw to audience on both sides of the pond, a draw he probably wishes he could have avoided. Playing the multi-talented Brit, Van Dyke manages the many jobs of his role well, but slips on the most important job of his own, sounding believable.
Yes, whatever you do, keep a straight face.
Attempting full Cockney, he sounds like a parody of his co-stars, but things sound even weirder in song, and even more so when Van Dyke's natural tongue cuts through the voice.
A spoonful of sugar goes a long, long way. Have yourself a healthy helping every day.
Number 6, Anne Hathaway, One Day.
Tilly, come on, it's time to go home.
When playing opposite actual Brits, it helps to at least keep your accent consistent. Over the course of this decade-spanning romantic drama, Emma and Dexter can't help falling in and out of love with each other just about as frequently as Anne Hathaway falls in and out of her own accent.
When we were at university, I've always spoke you. I had a crush on you.
From their very first time on the screen together, Hathaway's natural and very recognisable speaking voice cuts through her accent so hard, it can be difficult at times to tell that she's even supposed to be British, especially next to the very real and very distinct accent of Jim Sturgis.
You know, we've never actually met.
Actually, we have. Several times.
It's a great performance otherwise, but some accents aren't for everyone.
My apartment's not far, shall we?
Number 5, Shia LaBeouf, NYMPH.
I just tried it, it's not enough space, Joe. You just saw me do it.
Racy sex scenes and mature content aren't the only reasons for the controversy surrounding this Lars von Trier epic. Playing the hot and cold Jerome throughout multiple years of his encounters with the insatiable Joe, LaBeouf went so thick in his bass and rasp-heavy accent that it's hard to not take some of the scenes as comedic.
Every time you do a good job, I say, good job, Liz.
Making French co-star Stacey Martin's accent look strong by comparison, LaBeouf feels like he's mocking the British as much as he mocks his own co-workers.
Good job, Liz.
Good job, Liz.
Good job, Liz.
Completely losing his accent in some of the more heated scenes, Shia rarely carries the tone the material needs.
I love your wildness and your desire. I love you, Joe.
Number 4, Josh Hartnett, Blow Dry.
What's it to do with you who I talk to, eh?
In a film about attention to detail, you'd think this flub wouldn't have been missed. Brightening up the world of competitive hairstyling, Minnesota-born Josh Hartnett seems a strange choice to play a Brit in this hairy comedy, a choice made all the stranger by his attempt to sound like one.
I mean, I'm cutting my dad's shop, but not competitions.
Besides the fact that Hartnett looks about as American as they come, any chance at believing his English heritage is easily dashed anytime he opens his mouth.
You're bloody jealous, you are.
Stop it!
Sounding like an American imitating a Northerner as a joke, Hartnett even drops the accent every so often for good measure.
No volume, no real hold, that's the problem.
Number 3, Heather Graham, From Hell.
Do you think I'm paying you back?
While it's in bad form to judge a book by its cover, sometimes a title becomes a little more than a clever illusion. Going significantly overboard in her portrayal of the Cockney prostitute Mary Kelly, Graham nails the words but not the delivery in her attempt at a 19th century accent.
I can't help myself. What's your excuse?
Saying any cliche phrase or slang she can muster to try and sound more convincing, Graham may have aced the voice if she had not laid the inflection so thick, breaking any spell she may have had over the audience.
Are you sure she's alright?
Yeah.
Number 2, Don Cheadle, Ocean's franchise.
You tossers! You had one job to do!
Every so often, there's an accent that slides under the radar until the moment you remember the actor is actually American. Taking the piss as demolition expert basher across 3 movies, Cheadle plays as shady as a Brit as he knows, sounding more like an Oliver Twist extra than a real person, as he rhymes and drops slang throughout conversations.
They've only nosed up the mainframe couplet, nosed it right up!
Do you understand any of this?
Just when it seems like he can't go any further with his accent, Cheadle whispers in his own voice throughout the series without anyone batting an eye.
Stunned.
Alternatively, his time as American icon Fender Rhodes isn't that much of a step up.
Mr. Bang, this is a Fender Rhodes moment!
Number 1, Keanu Reeves, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Yes, of course, sir.
There's a particular combination of great talent that makes such horrors of acting more unbelievable than the fictional horror of their story. Bringing this tale of ancient evil to life, legendary director Francis Ford Coppola brought British powerhouses like Gary Oldman and Anthony Hopkins on board to do the story justice, but somehow let Keanu's horrendous attempt at an accent pass the audition phase.
I've seen many strange things already. Bloody wolves chasing me through some blue inferno.
On top of some questionable acting, his rasp-laden tone always feels like a bad impression rather than anyone's actual voice, making for one accent so hilariously sloppy that it makes the movie worth watching for a completely different reason.
No, let them go! Let them go! Our work is finished here.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Mojo UK and subscribe for more great content.